class, and we're going to start off, as we always do, with 5 minutes of meditation. And what that means is you'll fold your books, put them on your lap, sitting comfortably, and you're going to have your right hand over your left, just put in your lap where you're very, very calm, very comfortable. Now, as we talked about before, when you close your eyes, you're going to watch. Everybody listen up. Stop talking to your neighbor, or there's going to be issues. Stop looking around. Pay attention to me. This is my time. All right? Ladies, that means you too. When everybody's done messing around, we'll start. All right. So, when we close our eyes, what I want you to do is gently put your attention on your breathing. Gently put your attention on your breathing. No more shuffling around. Wherever you're at, stay. Stop it. Don't move. All I want is like 5 minutes of quiet. We should be able to do that without shuffling chairs, moving around, fiddling around. This is called a little bit of self-discipline. All right? So you're going to gently put your attention on your breathing. Now thoughts are going to come in. That's fine. Some feelings may be there. Happiness, sadness, whatever. That's fine. Let them go. As soon as you see that, oh, my attention is not on my breathing, gently put it back. Do not fold your arms in front of you. Put your hands together, right hand over left, like this. Like this. Right hand over left in your lap. There's a reason for it, which I will talk about later if we have time. So then it's that gentle back and forth between thoughts, letting go, and back to attention on the breathing. It doesn't matter if you're paying attention to the flow of the air or the rise and fall of the chest. Whatever it is that allows you to gently pay attention, not concentrate, but just pay attention to the breathing and allow thoughts to come and go without focusing on them. So everyone close their eyes, face forward, feet on the ground. That's it. Close the eyes. Sit quietly. Now slowly open your eyes. Okay, so we start off as usual. Was it easy? Did anybody have any problems? Being able to let go of thoughts, feelings, just let them go, come back to the breathing. Now, this also is, you're going to hear outside noises. You may hear birds chirping, you're going to hear the wind blowing, you can hear people talking outside. It's just like a thought. You just don't put your attention on it. You'll hear it, and then just come back to the breathing. It's just another form of energy that we simply let go. So it's, again, part of that gentle interaction between the attention on the breathing and thoughts, external situations, or a feeling. If you have to scratch or change positions to be more comfortable, go ahead and do it. Because otherwise, you're going to sit there for your whole time saying, geez, I wish I could scratch that itch. Just scratch it and be done with it. And then continue. So the name of how to meditate properly is taking everything as simple as we can. We don't overcomplicate. The universe is simple. We're complicated. So keep it simple. Keep it simple. Allow things to flow very effortlessly. Okay? Now, do you feel a little bit more relaxed? A little bit more calm? There's nobody that didn't feel calm? So, these are the only ways that we can see if things are doing what they're supposed to. It's easy, and I feel a little bit more settled, a little bit more focused, a little bit more calm. Now, I want you to all please remember, just 5 to 10 minutes this afternoon at home before dinner, and then maybe 5 to 10 minutes in the morning before breakfast or going to school. We always want to try to meditate before eating, because as the body relaxes, it begins to shut down other things that are going on, so it can collect itself, its resources. Okay? So it's a healing, part of the healing process. Deep rest is part of the healing process. So if we're eating a big meal or something, then the digestion is going to be slowed down, right? Because everything gets slowed down. And we're going to sit there with this big lump of food in our stomach. It's better to do your meditation before eating, a meal. All right. Very good. Thank you. You all did very well. Thank you very much. So today we're going to be beginning the first of our value statements. The first one that we're going to look at is think positively, or positive thinking. And what does that mean? Is this the right one? Or, let's see. No. Okay, here we are. Positive thinking. Go to this page in your notebooks. The value is positive thinking. And it's the way they define it is a self-empowering concept that allows the student to have a positive self-image, to value themselves and life in all its forms. Positive thinking is a mental and emotional attitude that focuses on the bright side of life and expects positive results. This is very important. We'll talk about in a moment. A positive person anticipates happiness, not disaster, right? Happiness, health, and success, and believes that he or she can overcome any obstacle and difficulty. people are more disposed to help us if we're positive. And they dislike or avoid people who are broadcasting negativity. These, to me, they're sort of common sense that and here's an interesting thing. There's a great philosopher that once said, "As a man thinketh, so he is." What you have in your head, you become, not just mentally, but physically as well. If you're thinking positively and you're anticipating success, or you're empowering yourself, that means you're giving yourself permission to be successful, that is going to have an effect on your body as well. It's going to send a positive flow of energy throughout your entire system because the mind and body are intimately connected. Disease is called dis-ease. Dis-ease is a result of negativity, of stress. Health is an outcome of positive thinking, a life-supporting or positive lifestyle. So never believe that your thinking is independent of your body, because the two are intimately connected. And if you think positively, if you're looking on the good side of things, as opposed to the negative side of things, criticizing others, or feeling bad about yourself, that has a dramatic effect on your body. It puts more stress on it, it breaks down sooner, and is one of the primary causes of disease. So, what affects one affects the other. We also know from our own experience, don't we, that if we're sick, if our energy is low, we're hurting or whatever, doesn't this have an effect on how we feel or how we think? So remember, the two work together in partnership, mental and physical, one affecting the other. Eat the proper foods. Get reasonable exercise. Don't overeat. Be moderate. Take the middle road. Because eating more than is necessary, all it does is store up fat. And that's not usable. And then your body has to carry it around. And that, again, puts a drag on your body. Eat enough so you're comfortably full. But don't overeat just because it's there. Because this, again, will affect your mental abilities. If we are, let's say, overeating or eating bad foods, our mental ability becomes lethargic, becomes slowed down, unclear. So always remember, what affects one affects the other. Mental and emotional attitude that focuses on the bright side and expects positive results. If you expect positive results, you have a higher probability of achieving them than if we are thinking that, oh, this is too hard, I'll never get it done, I can't do this. Anticipating a positive results forms like a flow of positive energy that helps us to achieve our goals. Negative thinking or a negative outlook on either ourselves or others or what we're doing does nothing but drag us backward. It's of no help, and it's basically unhealthy. A positive person anticipates happiness, health, and success. And again, the way you think, that's what you become. If you think you're going to be successful, you're going to follow up and do things that follow your thought process. You will do those things that will bring successful outcomes. It's just B follows A, C follows B, right? So if you think positive. If you think you're going to be successful, in order to do this, I must read this, I must do this. So you will automatically begin doing those things that enable that success. But it all starts with your thinking. I can do this. Yes, it might be hard, but I can do it. Or I can get help. You never have to do things alone. If you're in a situation, or you have a project, or you have to learn something, and you just don't know how to do it, get help. Ask for help. Ask a friend. Ask a teacher. Never be ashamed to ask for help if you need it. The smart person does that. The not-so-smart person thinks that, what will they think of me? Oh, they'll think I'm stupid, and I don't know this. You see what a useless way of thinking this is. It's destructive. A constructive or positive person will ask for help of the right person who they believe can help them in this particular situation. Now that's a smart person. You know, we get too bound up in our ego. We're too worried about what people will think about us, what people will say about us. Why should you care? Does that make you any better or any worse? You are what you are. You are what you make yourself to be. Others may have their own agenda. They have their own reason for saying things to you, either good or bad. But take everything, if it's useful, wonderful, apply it. If it's not useful or damaging, forget it and go the other way. A smart person does not stay in an environment of negativity because it rubs off. If, for example, you get a group of people and they're gossiping about others. Oh, this person's clothes is this, and this person doesn't do that right, and they da-da-da-da-da, right? They're being negative. They're tearing down someone. Stay away from those kind of people like a cobra, because they're destructive. They're destroying themselves. You don't want to be part of that. You don't want to get sucked into that whirlpool of negativity. It just makes life harder on you. Attend to your own business. Never speak or think ill of others, because you don't know what's going on in their life. And it's none of your business. If you can help someone, reach out a hand and help them. If you can't, at least stay out of their way. Remember that. Remember that. And I guarantee you that life will become easier for you. You see, the universe around us, it doesn't care what you think. It simply reflects back to you what you are, so you can learn from that. If you're a negative person, the universe in some form or another is going to reflect that back to you. And hard enough, or at some point you'll learn the lesson. Don't do this again. Or if you've done a good deed, or you've helped someone, the universe will also reflect that back to you. That when you are in need, when you need a hand, it will be there in one way or another. The universe always pays its debts. Always remember, we generalize it by saying it's the law of karma. But it's much more profound than just a word. Karma simply means action and reaction. But there are so many subtle, delicate ways in which energy moves throughout the universe, and we interact with it through our thoughts, through our actions. So if we want to be helped, be helpful. We want goodness to happen to us, then be good to others. And this doesn't mean just people. Every living creature, every creature with life has a right to live. How many times have we seen a little ant or a bug crawling on the ground and we step on it? Just because we can. The universe remembers that. You took a life for no purpose. If it's a poisonous spider and it's moving toward you, then it's self-protection. But if it's killing just for the sake of killing, that's wrong. An ant even, unless they're crawling all over you or getting in the food, in which case you have a right to act. But you don't do so out of malice, out of thoughtlessness. Right? Remember this. Because the universe even remembers that careless or callous stepping on that ant that you didn't have to. That it wasn't bothering you. It was just running its own little ant life. So remember, all life is precious. In the yogic tradition, it's called ahimsa. Ahimsa. Non-violence. Do no harm. That doesn't mean you don't protect yourself. That doesn't mean that you don't keep your environment safe for those, yourself and those around you. But what I'm talking about is carelessness, callousness, and not need. Do you understand the difference? Please remember it, because I guarantee you the universe will. Okay, so now we've talked about positive thinking. What we're going to do is I'm going to go around the room here, and I'm going to talk about positive thinking. I want to see some examples of positive thinking. So, take a moment, think of something in your life or some situation where you had a choice of thinking positive or helping or being negative. Yes, go ahead, please.
Think positive when you are sad.
Say again?
Think positive when you are sad.
Yes, think positive for yourself, but give me a life example. Can you give me an example where you were talking to a friend or you were with your family and you had a choice of saying something nice or not nice? Have you ever had that happen? No or yes? No, you've never had a situation where you could say a nice word to someone. Hello, how are you today? You see? That's nice because I care about how you feel today. But it's so simple. Hi, how are you? Smile. That's positive, isn't it? It makes you feel good. And when you make someone else feel good, they in turn will probably make someone else feel good. This is how good deeds propagate. One person to another, and others and others. It's like ripples on a pond. Just a kind word that wasn't necessary, but just to make somebody feel good. How are you feeling today? Are you doing okay?
Yes.
Are you enjoying your classes? Good. I care. That's just not an idle word. Please sit down. I really do care. How is his classes coming? Is he enjoying them? What that will do is inside him, that will set up a thought pattern of positiveness, of how can I enjoy my classes, or what can I do to maybe have someone else be a little bit happier. If someone is hungry and they don't have food, maybe take half your sandwich. Say, here, have some. Share. Not because you have to. Spontaneous acts of kindness that is seeking no return. Those are the best. Remember, we are not seeking to get thanks from people. We are just being good because being kind and good and compassionate makes us feel good. God will give you your reward. Never do anything for gain. Never do anything for show. Do it because it's right. Do it because it's what Ram would do, is what Krishna would do. We don't worship these great beings because they're really cool and they're God. We worship them because they did goodness. They helped improve people's lives. They showed them a way from the darkness to the light. Can we not do that also in our small way? We don't have to do it on the scale that they did, but just one kind word, one just saying for no purpose other than to put a smile on someone's face. This is what they did. So worshiping without trying to be like them is sort of hypocrisy. It's just a social custom that we've adopted because somebody told us we have to worship Rama, we have to worship Krishna or Shiva. But they don't want that kind of worship. They want worship through action, not words. Worship through action is the best kind. An action that is not looking for any kind of payback, any result. Well, I'm nice to them, they have to be nice to me. No, that's not true. You're not responsible for what they do. You're responsible for what you do. How many of you read the Bhagavad Gita? Anybody here? You have? I have. You should all get a copy. I have a version of it, a translation that I particularly enjoy, but this has such great stuff in it. You know, when Krishna's talking to Arjuna on the battlefield, he says, act for the sake of action and not for the fruits of action. Don't look for anything back for doing what is right. Do what is right because that will help you in the long run, and it will set up a ripple in your world, a positive ripple. And if we get enough people doing this, we wouldn't have all the wars and chaos that we see today. What we have is a world of selfishness, of control, of people saying, do and believe and think the way I do, or I'm going to kill you. This is not positive thinking. This is not compassion. This is the opposite. If we want to change our world, it's not doing social actions. It's not going on, walks with signs saying be kind to each other. It's these little things every single day that no one else sees but you. Doing those helps to change the world because it has to start here. Changing our world starts within each one of us. This is this whole thing on positive thinking, positive outcomes. Be good for the sake of goodness alone. Be kind for the sake of kindness alone. Give a helping hand or ask if someone, you can help someone. And if they say no, that's fine, then move on. I'm not saying be a do-gooder, no. No, I'm just saying that spontaneously, if you're around others, say things which are life-supporting, not life-damaging. Criticizing or trying to push someone down so we can feel better about ourselves is my definition of evil. That's my definition of evil. That is the absolute opposite of what Krishna taught. Absolute opposite of what Ram taught. They did good because it was their nature. We can develop that within ourselves so that little by little it becomes natural. And we find that we smile more. We're happier. And that radiates to those around us, to our family, our friends. It's something that if you work on it, and it's not hard work. It's not hard work at all. But if you do, you'll find that over time, your life becomes easier. You become happier. Those around you become more happier and at peace. And isn't that what we want in life? Don't we all want happiness? Happiness is something that is inherent within us. We have it here already. But it's covered up a lot with all these things that happened around us, with our society, our family, our friends, just things that happen, and we don't know how to deal with them. We become frustrated. And if we're frustrated, we can become angry, and that spiral downward happens. So, do your best to think positively. Do your best to help others just because, if they need it. And hang around positive people. If you see people talking negatively of others, gossiping, run away from them like you would a cobra. Because it is poison. It is poison. Because that does nothing but propagate more evil in the world. Okay? Now, would you do me a favor, CK? Would you go around the class and get some examples from both sides give examples of how to do something positive or how to do something that is helpful, even though you weren't assigned to do it. What spontaneous help or what action?
Yeah. Good morning,